Take 13 health, Corzel.
More health?
Yes.
And then I, on
Oh my
Anders,
god.
over the next 10 minutes, we'll cast this for the gentle breeze. And then
I will. Well, here.
Gotta say.
I'll treat you too, since.
no.
Wait, I can only treat you once a day.
Yeah, but I'm about to do the exact same thing.
Oh my god. I just like imagine like Cursal just like standing proud. You guys are just all attending him, trying to fix him up. And it's just like Cursal thinking was normally I have to shout and bonk people over the head to get this sort of attention.
I mean, to be fair, Anders is first.
No, it's like you guys are competing with each other, but it looks like you're just taking care of Cursal.
Where is it? It's the so I need to quickly just do this.
Yeah. See, me on the other hand, it only takes an hour, and I can do it again.
It's
Wow.
10 minutes in my case.
As you will be in the middle, or rather, you can like finish off the mechanical component, because as you will be like going over healing, like after a couple of minutes, like as you're like healing, there will be like, you know, patrol of guards coming by, because that commotion was heard, and there will be a response.
Yeah, so Kurzel and Anders both heal 43.
Sorry, Derp, I spoke over you. You were saying something about Tetrick?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure of everyone that can heal, Tetrick has the lowest healing ability.
He's enthusiastic though, you know. That's all we need.
Tetra's got the second highest because you've made him an expert in medicine.
I got 43 more health.
Yeah. The lowest is Baemoth because trained, and Anders is master.
Okay.
Oh, is that what that plus 30 is from Master?
Yes, I am playing the healer of the group.
Okay, so would I add the plus 14 next time or no?
No. The reason for this is I'll quickly just post the treat wounds activity. The higher your proficiency, the higher the bonus. Bonus healing is. Expert is 2d8 plus 10, while master is 2d8 plus 30.
Oh, okay.
Which is a pretty big boost.
Yeah. And yeah.
I am a master in survival.
Yeah. And Anders is a master in healing, and yeah, so that's where that's coming from. But guards come round.
Yes, this will be happening as you're like in the middle of healing, like tending to your wounds. You hear the heavy footstep of armored humanoids going in a squad, going around the corner and noticing the sights of battle. Thankfully, the one leading them, Sergeant, is at least aware that right, you are guests of Duke Silvertooth. What happened? There was a commotion reported with coming by to respond.
Well, as me and my compatriots found out, this thing, as he just like smacks his axe into the Festus stalker, was stalking us. Likely having heard of our investigation into the matter.
I think we've found your serial killer.
It was this thing, and it's like Sergeant like comes by like with disgust pokes it with its blunt end of a halberd.
Ah, yes, the age-old poking it with a stick.
Well,
It's
looks
already dead.
looks dead to me. I'm all right. That's. I'm vaguely aware you have some deal with Sir Silvertooth. That's above my pay grade, but I'm pretty sure folks higher up will want to have this so they can like put an end into some investigations. Oh, what the this fucking thing was gathering this stuff? And then they like, one of them like picks up, because obviously the back of faces is, as a part of its inventory, it is present.
No.
It's like completely my ninjas. Like, any idea why that fucking thing was gathering those things?
Unfortunately, I don't think we have figured out as to why, although there was a trend noticed in that it must have used the identity of someone unassuming to enter the city.
Yeah, he smacks the forehead. Right, the farmer. Fuck.
Indeed. And meanwhile, once it arrived to the city, it used its ability to kill a judge as well as was it a high-ranking guard?
Yeah, it was a veteran guard.
As well as a high-ranking guard in the as well as a high-ranking guard of the city.
Higher ranking. There was... The guards like start like brainstorming a little bit. We didn't lose anyone from... Didn't hear about any other sergeants missing or dying. It is possible this fucker was trying to get into protection detail for the Duke.
That would not surprise me, given that we have also encountered other creatures such as this in our travels. Whatever these creatures seem to be doing, there seems to be a concerted effort of infiltrating. There seems to be a concerted effort to infiltrate into the ranks of others.
Well, I'm gonna definitely give you that. It seems like it gave you a fair challenge, but prevailed in the end, and I'll be sure to give that in my report to the Duke, that you've did a great service to the city. Although, and then Sergeant looks like slightly less sure, like pointing, like doing the head motion, like motioning towards both Hellugander on one side and Baemoth on the other. Like, are you planning on bringing more of your flying friends to the town?
What did you say, sorry?
Are you planning on bringing more of your flying friends to the town?
Well, they are, after all, citizens of my kingdom. They go as they wish, as long as they obey its law.
Well, it's to be good enough for me. And then he like looks around. I do not see any extensive collateral damage, so I'm gonna count that as a success.
So, like, slightly cracked road where Corzo landed.
Yeah.
The pavement is like slightly melted.
once we've attended to the, once I've attended to the wounded here, we'll be on our way.
Mm.
Very well. Keep, well, doing what you do. Right. Privates, get this sack of meat and we move out back to the headquarters.
Mhm.
No, and then just
There are some
as well as
cases to be closed, and the patrol will be moving out unless there's anything
No.
else you want to.
No, we just let him go. Mm.
One other thing is at the end of the 10 minutes, of course, there's this little bit of additional healing.
Where?
Well, if we're doing more healing down here, you get to have this, Julius.
Oh hey, since 10 minutes are up, I can do another
How do I-
healing venom.
How do I?
Fast healing to 4 rounds.
Oh.
Healing health.
Okay, so.
Man, we have
there
so much healing.
Actually,
Oh,
I haven't
you
used
gave
my
me- what, you
healing
gave me
kit
10
yet, so I
health?
could do
Or-
that as well.
Yeah, 10 health from Gentle Breeze.
I'm just
I can
imagining
use
some
my
random
healer's
old
kit
lady
on-
walking past, and it's like, ah, my back feels so much better. Mm.
Wounds, I believe.
And you get a fast healing, so you should be pretty much back up to full
Mm-hmm.
in no time. And theoretically, I could just, rest for 10 minutes, put it back on you.
Yeah, we got a lot of downtime healing.
I mean,
Well,
from the
yeah.
description, yeah, just and then
Like,
an item
okay.
enabler to.
Yeah, just quickly in regards to the treat wounds, in regards to the downtime healing, in regards to the treat wounds. If other people, if they don't have specific feats, when it comes to treating wounds, the target is immune to treat wounds as a whole for a set amount of time.
Yep.
Yeah, give me a second.
If you don't have the feat, which is this one, it will lock out the treat wounds for an hour.
Actually, which feat?
So I-
what does that feat belong to actually?
It's a medicine skill feat.
It's
Oh,
yeah,
okay, so it's a skill feat.
it is a general and skill feat tax. Yes.
Yeah. Now, with that in mind, I'm dealing with the treat wound stuff. We don't need
Fair enough.
much more of it.
Yeah, guys, I was more worried about, self-healing as a, as a backline wizard, because this is what I picked this one up.
Yeah, thankfully, I am playing the healer. We've got the healing covered, unless Anders dies. We've got the healing covered.
Look, more healing is better, no? Mm.
Yeah, but it's more when it comes to the actual treat wound stuff.
Yeah.
Which
So, in
does-
other words, Anders does the treat wound stuff, but if you got any other healing than treat wound, it's excellent.
yeah, exactly.
Which, I have 2 things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So I will quickly just do another treat wounds and throw out another gentle breeze. Although I don't expect that we're having a fight again, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Just
Yeah, as it
for the sake of
happens, you had this encounter ambush in the middle of the night. It's now like, around 3 a.m. And the question is, like, if you plan on finding a place to rest, maybe have a long rest through the rest of the night, or what do you plan on doing?
Probably best to do that. I'm going to quickly just throw this one out just one more time though, just because I can.
Because I think when the wounded condition goes out, I think after long rest.
10. It's when you hit either full HP or via other stuff in the treat wounds.
Okay. So yeah, so not even full hit points. It's like even if someone is using treat wounds. No wait.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
treat wounds. I think there's another thing. I think it's
Yeah, the condition saying that if someone successfully restores hit points to using treat wounds, or if you are restored to full hit points.
Oh, there we go. Get rid of that then. Haha. Yeah, 41 more HP, and then just another 10 HP from the Gentle Breeze. And then I think we can safely say that we can go rest, because natural healing should knock off the rest for. Actually, I think Curls was back at full health, so with the along with the 41 at the top there as well.
Yeah, and I can give you guys fast healings like every 10 minutes. It's like, dude.
And
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because technically I have a cat, but I don't want to add another thing to the board if we don't have to for my familiar.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, is that leave me to do the treat wound stuff because I've built for it. But if we have any other out of combat healing, feel free to throw it in during those 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, like I said, my stuff was more around self heal myself because you're gonna be in the front line. I'm not, and I'm gonna be a prime target.
I'm just glad that the restoring blood venom thing doesn't count a treat wounds. So every 10 minutes, I can actually just do that on top of a treat wounds.
Yeah, it's again we got a lot of we've got a lot of healing, and I do love it. But yeah, treat wounds, yeah.
All right.
For simplicity's sake, I will say, I didn't say that last session, but I'm gonna say that amidst the talks with the Duke, he also mentioned that should you stay here for longer, that place you were feasting in, it was a tavern, so you can also grab a place there to rest through the rest of the night.
Be right back just quickly.
And you know what? It was rather diplomatic and you had generally solid rolls, so I will say that due to your decision to assist town, the stay is on the house. So you don't have to pay gold for staying at the tavern.
Alright.
Nice.
Quick question. Would I be allowed to grab Common Centered for my level 8 skill feat?
Come on, what?
Common Centered.
What is that exactly?
What's that?
It's a level 8 skill feat that connection to the world helps you deal with being frightened or stupefied. It decreases it by 2.
Why do you need permission to grab it? Is it an uncommon?
It's an uncommon.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you. It was the only level 8 one that I really think would be neat or helpful. I don't think others really work with Tetrick.
Alright. Nothing assails you through the night, so you are free to click the long rest button.
Yay.
Was that the rest for the night?
Yeah, it's the little bed icon.
Wait,
On
there's
the
a bed
sheet.
icon?
If you open up the sheet, although I think utility as well, if you hover over that, you can click rest for the night.
Alright.
However,
I wake up 1 HP off max.
However, I imagine, rather both in character and out of character, there is a matter that you now have. Tetrick's arrival was welcome and he is someone that you already traveled with, but now it seems like you have a new addition to your group. Again, I think for simplicity, like a familiar face, like you've probably seen Baemoth at the capital in the past weeks, or even like before the first session started, because you've been around for a little longer than that. On the virtue of like starting at level 3 or 4, not the first one.
4. 4.
Yeah, 4. So
Well, Cursor says, looking at Baemoth. What brings you here? Your timely arrival certainly was convenient, but I don't recall asking for help. Hmm?
Asking? It more like you're asking for death without me.
Frostrakes do have a propensity for the dramatic.
If you want, I can leave you to die next time. For I'm like the wind. I come and go as I want.
Uh-huh. Well, in which case, what made your esteemed presence follow our group? Hmm? I am, after all, looking for to be the king of trolls. Is this your reason? Hmm? Following a rising star?
You see my character just like trying like hide a laugh when you thinking of you as a king of trolls.
Wow.
You know, consider that how your latest actions have been. It's like, you almost had your half of your party dead.
The
Like-
path to the kingdom is a hard one. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth treading, no. Uh-huh.
Yes. But the kingdom you were looking at was a kingdom of worms until I showed up.
Well, worms or worms is all a matter of perspective in the end. And well, I won't lie, it's a mess. People kill each other to just prove they're the strongest, fighting for no other reason than all they knew what they have to. It's not a kingdom yet, and I'm not king yet. But when I'm done with this place, we'll have something worth remembering. Now, Frost Dragon, you showed yourself being willing to help and strong enough to be worth it. How about you join me more formally? There's lots and lots to be done, and plenty of treasure still lost in these wilds.
Perhaps.
Mhm.
But I request at least a boon if you ever do become a king.
Well, if you keep showing yourself being just as good as you are at the fighting and at your timely arrival, yes, indeed, I'll owe you greatly.
Perhaps the wind will stay for now. You might be useful in finding something.
And you might be useful as well. Let's see what we can do. Shall we, Baemoth?
For now, we shall.
So yeah, Cursor nods the rest of them. Greetings, everyone. This is Baemoth, newest member of the party.
I just like to imagine we're just standing right here. We're just standing right there as he just turns around.
You
And says,
just
Yeah.
see the way I'm thinking right now. My character is you just see like a cat like sitting on top of my head, just like scowling down at you.
"Ugh."
You know, the cat's the true master.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
a very good place. So the rooms are not cramped for you despite your size, but it's still not like you have like very much space. Not much extra space, but you're not like super cramped.
I always wondered in Pathfinder, can dragons actually transform, or is that only other fantasy things?
Dragons can. They do have human, I think, shape. Whatever. I can't remember what it's fucking called in Pathfinder now. But I think they can shapeshift to humans.
And whether you have the ability, maybe.
Although there is the key difference that drakes and dragons are different.
Yep, and very specifically, that ancestry I made doesn't have the change shape. Although I think even the basic vanilla Frostdrake as a monster doesn't have change shape.
But yeah, it's because it's not. It's not a natural ability that that dragons have. It's still a learned ability because it's a spell.
All right. So, as you were finishing up introductions, you hear like polite but firm knock, and before even like waiting for your response and answer, the doors swing open and you see Duke Silvertooth entering with his 2 honor guards. And for those that were not here last time, Duke Silvertooth is the ruler of this town of the Last Hearth, and he is rather fat, looking more old than young, bronze-skinned orc. And one of his 2 fangs is broken in half. And of course he's wearing very fine, pristine and like pricey looking clothing.
Mm-hmm. Kerchel turns around and a frown on his face. Greetings. It's like just waiting for him to explain why he's just bursting into his room.
Although, okay, so maybe I imagine like it's not like each private room, but it's like even each private room is coming into like a common area, and the door to the common area was like knock knock, and then stepping in. Good morning to you, my honored guests. Word has reached me in the very early morning that it seems like you have already done one great deed for the city.
Yes, we do our best. Mm-hmm.
I am glad to see the I'm glad to see that the examples of the Wanderer's action being right. Not everyone was for it, from what I recall hearing bits and pieces, but
well,
they wanted to give a second chance.
Mm-hmm. Well, wouldn't you rather thank us, I suppose, than those wanderers? Anyway.
Amazing.
Oh, of course, for you, I don't have words because, well, they are not worth much for your burgeoning kingdom. While I still would be very much grateful if you are still interested in tackling the hags issue, because they are the ones that seem to be operating out of your territory. Dealing with that faceless thing, this infiltrator, of course, is good enough to grant you a reward on its own. If that wasn't clear enough, it might not seem like it, but we have plenty of merchants coming and going, so if you wish to buy or sell your things, you are absolutely free to do so. Additionally, as this is a simpler matter, from our coffers, and then he snapped his finger and one of his 2 guards picks up Anders, Kurzel, and Helga. Picks up 3, and then they look at each other, then look at you, counting, and they're like, oh. They like mutter between each other. And my apologies. It in the excitement of dealing with that serial killer, it seems like the information about your numbers being changed didn't exactly reach my ears.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because this. The kingdom must grow. Mm.
Yes, I thought there was. Well, let's do with the nice thing first, and then Kurzol, Anders, and Helgander are being handed bags of gold, like 1 bag of gold each, and inside you will have 100 gold coins.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Now I'm sure your other friends assisted as well, and he gives like polite but like slightly unsure look at Tetrick and Bay.
I will be fine without receiving a monetary reward. I would, however, like to ask a question and perhaps a different
Compensation?
yes.
Of course, I am all ears.
First of all, I would ask if when was the most recent mammoth sighting, or just even record of mammoths being present?
Mammoths. Huh.
Before I died, I was a mammoth herder myself, and I was hoping to get a herd back together, if it were.
Duke seems to consider this for a while, scratching his chin, and then I can delegate to some of my underlings if they can peruse the books and scrolls from the old records.
It would be greatly appreciated.
Although something tells me, I assume, if those animals of yours were not brought back with you, then perhaps they are somewhere out there, but further up north.
I can only hope.
Sadly, this is way outside my area of expertise, so apologies, but I'm
I
simply
was
guessing.
not expecting an immediate answer. It is fine. Aside from that, I would like to know if I could get my hands on some seeds that would be able to grow in the further north.
Certainly, I can make proper inquiries and delegate to those who oversee the farming, as you probably realize that our region, while still rather cold, it's not as bad as further up north, so obviously I wouldn't want to give you something that will not work out for your area.
Right. I thank you once more. That is all I wanted to ask for.
Of course, that brings to the point, and perhaps a reminder, that I will be very much willing, should the Coven issue be dealt with, to facilitate a more permanent trading agreement if it comes to food.
That would be very helpful.
Now, as a ruler of this town, I need to ask, were you able to... The guards did give me a report of their own. So perhaps the question I'm willing to ask, should I or should we expect that more issues like this will arise, or perhaps was this a singular thing? He's looking at all of you, but primarily Ursula and Anders.
I fully expect this to be a repeated thing. There was no telling if that even though this attempt of this creature failed, whether or not more may turn up, or even if there are, or perhaps there are even more already in the city. Unfortunately, it's just too little information to go off of currently.
I see. My men will try to at least investigate, maybe find the lair of this creature. It had to stay somewhere. And I guess we'll have to try and come up with solutions to counter such infiltrators. I wish I could simply just ask for like matters a little bit. Apologies. I believe that's what I wish to discuss with you. Your stay has been, and cooperation has been very welcome, and again I'm saddened that it is only now that it is happening, but I understand duties and priorities can take time.
Indeed. I'm gonna quickly spit about my dogs are playing up again.
Also, those of you don't need to roll, but those of you that were present last time and have generally like solid intelligence, which definitely Kurzol, for example, you can definitely pick the fact up that considering what you know about your own elder, the town definitely tried to reach out, like send like a nice like welcoming diplomatic message, and it was most likely ignored.
Yeah. Cursor is just like kind of frowning and grumbling at that. His already low opinion of the elder isn't exactly getting any better.
No. I wish you a good day should you wish to stay in town and peruse its markets. Well, for a moment I thought my like power was going just out for a moment, but it was like, just a small thing. And if you would be leaving, for that tag issue, I wish you good hunting. Or just, well... And then he like scratches his chin a little bit. From what I've been told, I don't really expect the hags to be reasonable. They are hateful beings, especially of humans. They sacrifice folks for the rituals, they steal children. But as they are also operating on your land, if you would be able to get them to stop being an issue, that would be fine for me as well.
Well, if they're willing to accept the laws of land, then I'd be more than willing to let them live. But if they're already attacking people and causing menace, I have my feelings it may just as well end in bloodshed. So, Gertrude just straight back and looks down upon the maid. We shall be off and deal with this as soon as we've sampled your hospitality. I'm glad to have made this initial meeting with you, and I hope for a flourishing partnership with our fellow neighbor.
Likewise, when he reaches a hand for a handshake. In times like these, it's better to have more friends than enemies.
That most definitely is. Yeah. And with that, I think our meeting is done.
Yep. Duke will bid your farewell and then make his leave back to his duties. Also, the main reason why I mentioned the possibility of selling stuff and whatnot, because in your stash you have like 600 gold worth of like precious stones that you can like sell off.
I'll come back.
But then what materials would we have for a crown?
I mean, if that's what you want to go for, that's your prerogative, I suppose.
I think Tetric's gonna go look for like the market and just see like what different kinds of fruits and plants they have for sale.
All right, you can give me a nature roll, mostly to see like if you are able to pick out something like good.
Right. Nature roll. No.
Yeah, with a 20, you are able to find some things that, like, they're not terrible, they are just, like, average. They're gonna work for the lands that you have, but they will be, like, nothing extraordinary, like average, all, like, kinds around, in terms of, like, quality and quantity.
That is fine. He's mostly just trying to get stuff that will work in general. So he's gonna spend some of his money on the crops that he can find that will at least survive the further north.
All right. So are you going in terms of like quantity? Are you going for like just samples or just enough to have like a start proper farming?
Just enough to have a start. Like I believe he would go for a more diverse group so that he can do the crop rotation.
All right.
And that way there is an amount of quantity, but there is also like different types of crop.
All right. So yeah, 10 gold pieces.
10 gold? Okay.
Yep. I'd say.
All right.
And for simplicity's sake, in terms of like items, in terms of like item levels, what is available, For permanent items, it's item level 7 or lower. For consumables, it's level 9 or lower. If you're like thinking about buying something, if you're thinking about buying something specific. Also,
nothing specific.
Yeah, serious question. Are you like selling off the collection of precious stones?
Yeah, we have no use for them.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do that. And because there's this neat thing in the party sheet that I can just distribute coins.
Hooray!
Wow.
Money.
Oh.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
We're rich.
Yeah, I didn't put it. The reward you have gotten from Duke, you have to put it on yourself. So.
Yep. Let's see. Equipment, maybe.
I do think also while we are here, Tetrick is gonna buy some like jerky or salted meats that are preserved.
I think by accident. Oh wait,
So
shadow protection.
that they can like use later.
But, it's survey price.
Yeah, I'm trying to find if there's like any specific like goods like that are priced, but no. Yeah, one side thing, by the way, you don't have to do it, but if you want to throw some personal goal, Sinful, in the journal page, yeah, you have personal notes and you should be able to see your like page that you can
Oh, speaking of, did we ever grab any of the ores or the salt?
I mean the ores, you basically cleared the mines, and in the background the work has started on them to like so that they may become operational. Salt in larger quantities, like not really.
Okay, all right. Just want to double check that. So, which mine did we go to?
All of them.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, if you see on the map that's captured, that's like you went to that and dealt with issues.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna check that off on the checklist then. Ores. Okay. All right. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is one more resource obtained.
By the way, probably as you would be like going around town, possibly buying things, there's definitely one building amongst the others that would have like caught your attention because it's quite colorful and nice looking, and additionally it's absolutely, and also it has a logo at the front that's very familiar to all of you.
Oh.
Although the building is empty, as you like probably during your stay you'd have like noticed passing by an outpost for the Eternal Wanderers, which seems to be locked down tight, as in like I'm trying to find the fucking description for non-detection, but I think I'm just gonna go like more obvious thing that they have plenty of mundane and magical protections in place, including like arcane lock, alarm spell, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, as a side note, as they are not, there doesn't seem to be anyone present here at this outpost. All right. Part of the shopping can also be done like between the sessions. I just wanted to go with a question that after like doing what you need to do in terms of like gathering supplies, what will be your next destination? What would be your next move?
Well, could you take us to the world map?
Sure do.
Well, we have been asked to deal with, well, people causing trouble from our lands, which isn't exactly getting us the best POV, so to say. So, there are witches to be hunted.
And it seems that is our next course of action.
You make them sound like they're a bad thing.
Given that they are, given what they could possibly do on our land, I think it is prudent to deal with it.
So, next plan is to deal with the witches, and then I think, honestly, I'd be fine after taking a quick stop at the capital to go and see what the hell this cold place is. Very cool place.
Right.
Indeed.
All right. And I think I did mention, the Duke mentioned it last time, but I think it was stated that they believe, from the information, that the Hack Coven is operating somewhere like to the like east southeast from the last half, like in this like mountain areas.
That would make sense, since I think where do we come across them again?
To be fair, it was like more in the like going in this direction.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, that happened like even in game time, like quite a while ago.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
And you do have someone in the party that has like survival for tracking, I think.
I believe I do.
We do. I think they are a master in it, as they said. So that is something they should be able to track hopefully relatively easily.
Who knows? I might roll one. I didn't roll one.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, you are able to, and of course, as you have the general area where to search, but it is still like quite a lot of ground to cover. So I'm just gonna say definitely like one more day passes, or just like a pure legwork of just going around the areas, checking for any signs and clues.
Right.
But you would be not like that. Getting into this areas. So far not having to deal with a lot of danger. However, a 30. Oh, however, I fucking blanked on my brain. Like this. Of course, also just to confirm, Baemoth doesn't really have like a stealth as a skill check, right?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
the heck, stealthy dragon?
I actually have expert in stealth.
What the hell?
Expert stealth dragon.
Oh my god, imagine dragon sneaks up on you. Hello, fucker.
I was reading the one about being able to burrow into the snow and all. I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea of you having stealth just pop up my head. It's like, you don't see me.
Fucking gopher dragon.
Okay, so you know what? You can give me, because the running joke, half joke was that the party didn't even bother being stealthy because they're like, I want that. But Baemoth, you can give me a stealth check.
All right.
Stealth in this economy.
This actually economy.
Yeah.
Do you want to reroll that?
You have been with the party for less than like a day and you're already losing your stealth capabilities. You thought you were good at this and now you're just trampling over branches and breaking stuff.
There we go.
All right.
You can actually click on the like thingy and re-roll it via hero points.
Yeah,
right
but it's
click.
28. It's
Yeah.
good, which is the DC is like 10 plus skill modifier. Right? Yeah, skill modifier. So that would be enough.
Well, that I also have invisibility, so.
Right. So, traveling through the mountains. Here. You would be going through one of the, like, not really a path, but like through nature works. It's enough to work as one. And path, because most of your group's approach was obviously noticed. However, effects hidden. Or flank, like up, acting as a scout. Baemoth remains unnoticed as he will be approaching this scene.
Aha.
You see a similar looking figures of the winter hags. One of the example you have met before, however, half sitting, like slav squatting on a rock. You see a deceptively nice looking person. But considering who is the company, assume they're also trouble.
Trouble. Well.
However, they do not seem to be attacking just yet. As I will be approaching, they will address you, their voice carrying off the rocks, and you know that Baemoth is not noticed.
Let's see. Trying to figure out something. All right. So I take it that I can see them. They can't, right?
Yes, you are hidden from them.
All right. Then I am going to be a smart person. Where's that? Aha. Ta-da! I'll let the group know what's coming up ahead.
Brief response is a reaction. Oh, nice. So yeah, basically, which is ahead. Cursor replies with attack on my mark, and his mark would be basically lifting up his axe into up into the sky. Not a subtle mark, but it's a mark,
Yeah, I pretty much sounds like, Words may work better here than action, boy.
Well, that's why we'll be speaking first. So, Cursor walks forward. What do they say? Yes, the approach of the Troll King.
You were not exactly subtle about coming here. What do you want seeking us?
I'm here because you have been causing trouble making my land seem unsafe.
We do not attack the giants nor steal their children. We have no quarrel with you.
Churchill said, perhaps. But you attack caravans. That was what it was, right? Attacking other people's caravans and killing people?
It was mostly like the outskirts of the last half, like the outer settlements, like hamlets, taking people,
yes.
sacrificing them, and then like stealing children. The usual hack stuff.
Yes, because, well, but you have been bothering our neighbors, and then slipping back into my lands to hide. It leaves a foul image.
Oh.
Sorry, just quickly. Sorry, did they say that they've gone after children? Was that?
I mean, that's what the Duke mentioned. That one of the things that happened. That's what the hags do. They steal children.
Well, that's
and switch them for changelings.
Well, that's one of my edicts currently flaring up like a motherfucker.
Oh, so that's what it is. You have become soft. They're getting back. The giants of old would have simply trampled all of those who oppose them and enact their rule. And you want to play nice.
Well, Kersel shakes his head. The giants of old are no more for that particular reason. They fought, they killed, they rose and they fell in the same way over and over again until they were no more. It's time for a new kingdom, new people, a new rule, not the same old strength makes might.
Oh, I think if you are that soft, our coven will not have something to worry about. And the hack in front will straighten herself up. Well then. And yeah, that's where we're gonna call it. Obviously, you will be getting into initiative and combat at the start of
I wanted
next
to say
session.
one thing before that. You have heard the saying, do not mistake kindness for weakness. Haven't you?
Kindness is weakness to those who are weaker than us.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure there's something as surprise round doesn't really exist. It's that you act. I'm gonna have to double check it before the next session because I'm thinking there's something about surprise rounds that.
So
something about it.
Surprise attacks on surprise attacks should blah 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 blah. Surprise are most likely if they attack the enemy for piece sub camp.
I like the idea that Patrick seriously was just a mammoth herder, and because he was old before he died, he got out of service because he was just too old. He ended up dying anyways, but after being brought back, has just decided, fuck it, I'm dealing damage now. He totally could have joined in the war effort and did not.
Right. In the meantime, hold on. Okay, here. Yeah, here's also what we are doing. Basically, milestone questions. See to gauge how close we are to leveling up. All right, so have you learned anything new / interesting / useful?
No.
I think this was raised sort of last session that the faceless butcher himself was the interesting thing. So I don't think we've learned anything more than that.
Yeah, I
then.
think that was like added last session.
Yeah.
Have you defeated a notable enemy? That's
yes.
Yeah, yep. They were definitely notable, at least.
Said fucking faceless butcher. Yeah.
Yep. Have you survived a noteworthy / dangerous encounter?
Yes.
All right. Have you acquired a worthy treasure?
No, unless the face of bags, the bags of faces count. I don't think they do.
The face of bags.
Not really. They are like, even like according to like vanilla rules, they are worthless.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't hardly fucking blame it.
Alright. That's that. And have your actions assisted your people / your tribe?
I've gotten I've gotten us like a thing for seeds, so that we can start planting crops in the north.
I would argue yes, in a more long-term possible alliance sort of way. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that was mostly done
We have also discussed trade routes.
Yeah. It's just most of it was kind of discussed last session, but I mean we did.
Okay. All right.
Well, I think it's more that we've solidified it with the killing of the faceless butcher, even.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. So I'm gonna count that as a yes.
I'm just saying the seeds thing because this session I did actually ask for that as the reward for the killing of the butcher, and the seeds are gonna be useful.
All right. So no level up just yet, but you are getting close.
I do have a question now that we've got we've got another party member in the party. And provided it's all right with the GM, given the similarities between clerics and champions, really. How would people feel about Anders becoming a champion instead of a cleric?
Okay.
But who would I have to have you question your religion?
It's more on the in-character front. Anders basically is more of a champion anyway, in that he is very front and center, dealing with what is considered evil. The out of character stuff in regards to the healing, the treat wound stuff, that would still remain the same. There would be, I think, slightly less healing in combat because I wouldn't have 5 heal spells to throw around.
It's like, so you're just doing this because you think it'd be more fun, Donut?
Yes.
Then why not just go ahead? Like the same, it's the same character, right? The same idea. All it's doing is you're playing a more interesting thing. Even though I feel like you go kind of full circle, going from evil paladin to cleric to back to good paladin.
Yeah, evil champions aren't
good
or fun because of how kind of lackluster they are.
I have no issues with that. It's like a learning campaign, and I've allowed plenty of character changes in the past, so it's like fine.
Okay, in that case, I thankfully am aware of what I'll be needing to go, and too bad a lot of it doesn't actually change, which is a nice feeling. We were able to buy items though, because I think I had to go AFK because I need to.
Yeah, there was periods where you were able, before you left the city, you were able to like peruse the markets and but yeah, if you are not here, as a reminder, basically in that town of Last Half, the item level limit is that for permanent items the maximum's item level 7. For consumables it's item level 9.
Okay,
for the time being.
I think that works because I need to.
Wait, item level 6 for normal things, or what did you say?
Item level 7 for permanent items.
Okay.
Item level 9 for consumables. That's the maximum. It's like the potions and whatnot. Yeah. I am, unless you have any more questions, I'm probably gonna be bouncing because I have a VR thing happening in a few hours, so I need to take a nap.
Okay.
I hope you stay well. See you
No
around.
worries.
Take care.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed the session and see you next week.
Thank you.